to our wildfire coverage now, where a new strategy in the fight against wildfires in California with a prevention first mindset. To help put that plan into action, CAL FIRE has trained a special group of wildland firefighters, and this team trading in their guns for chainsaws.
Cutting to the root of the problem now to prevent devastation later. As one saws, the other pulls. Then it's on to the next spot. Gear and water on their backs. The team marches through a forested area just outside the city of Colfax on this 100-degree day. Hazards all along the way. And those hills, upwards of 40% grades. One after the other, the methodical removal of small diameter trees and underbrush along these ridgetops and roadsides. All the debris chipped and spread along these paths. The work is grueling, but has a clear mission.
Stop fires before they happen.
They may be dressed in CAL FIRE yellow, but these are not your typical wildland firefighters. Ryan Cornicoli and Leilua Limbo are soldiers with the Army National Guard, specially trained for wildfire prevention as part of a 20-soldier unit called the Auburn Acorns.
If you look at an acorn, it's a seed, but as it grows, it becomes one of the biggest, strongest trees there is, and that's kind of how we are as a unit now. We started out as a little, almost nothing, and we've worked together. Our unit cohesion is so good right now that we're just unstoppable out here.
Their orders forged out of the flames of California's deadliest and most destructive wildfire. Last year, the campfire killed 87 people and destroyed more than 18,000 structures. The entire town of Paradise destroyed. With the ashes still smoldering, Specialist Limbo was there as part of the Guard's extraction and human remains recovery team.
You're literally just raking and shoveling and looking through a couple inches of what used to be a home or a building and looking for people's loved ones and family members.
The completed portion of this firebreak overlooks the rim of the North Fork of the American River, a beautiful place to live, but one that comes with heightened fire risk. As part of the governor's emergency proclamation earlier this year, 850 acres near Auburn were specifically chosen for its history of big wildfires and the number of homes and other infrastructure at risk. It's part of a much larger operation in Northern California called Task Force Rattlesnake. Commander Robert Langston says this is the first time in the Guard's history that soldiers are being used to prevent wildfires.
It's a type of fence around the community, and if there's a fire outside, then that community won't get affected because we'll have the chance to put it out before it gets there.
The commander says if the firebreak does its job, you won't see or hear about this area related to a wildfire. And the soldiers working hard on the ground wouldn't have it any other way.
I don't need recognition, I just need to know that I did the right thing. And every day I come out here, I can look and see the work that I've done.
The moral of the story, removing the dry fuels now to prevent out-of-control wildfires later. That's the mission. The brains behind the operation is joining us now. Retired CAL FIRE Battalion Chief Chris Paulus, now with the Placer County Resource Conservation District. Initial planning began as early as 2008 on this project. It is now underway. Thank you so much for coming with us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I encountered you out there in the field. We only had 20 minutes. I had to bring you on because your experience level, 40 years on wildfire prevention. But if we're going to talk about wildfire prevention in the state, we got to go back thousands of years and talk about how the land was all formed. And it was a fire adaptive ecosystem. Explain to us what that is and how that affects fire prevention today.
So over a 12,000 year period, most of the west slopes of Nevada Mountain Range co-evolved with the fire, both natural lighting fire and anthropogenic fire from California Indians. So this plant community out there, native plants, is fire adaptive. Therefore, it wants and needs fire. Since the forest removal and genocide of the indigenous people, along with fire control efforts, we now have a massive fuel accumulation out there.
Okay, and taking us back to Colfax specifically, and 850 acres out there. You're from Colfax, by the way, so you're protecting your family and your friends that you grew up with.
Yes, sir.
It was chosen because of the history of big wildfires out there. We're watching video right now of the Stevens fire as well as the Robbers fire, big one. Since 2001, every 4 years, a big wildfire out there.
Yes, every 4 years we're experiencing a fire either associated with river drainage or in the river drainage. So given that, along with the other fire history and assets at risk, is why that project site was located there.
Explain to us what a fuel break is, because it was a new concept to me. It's different than a fire break.
So a fire break is really a barrier to fire spread, like a road, a fire control handling. A fuel break is we actually modify the fuel characteristics. We change it, the characteristics, the density, the plant association. The goal is to modify fire behavior downward, change the rate of spread, the intensity, the direction, the firebrand ember production. And that allows firefighters to attack that fire within that fuel break using less firefighting assets. So we're basically we are recreating the cultural historical forest in a way that we have the low intensity fire that occurred over thousands of years.
Because you know a fire is coming in these spots. It's just about making sure it doesn't turn into one of those explosive, out of control fires like the one we saw at Paradise and destroyed the town.
And that's where Governor Newsom needs praise for the leadership here. And what he has given us is the tools to go after and protect these communities in California. And Colfax is an example of a community at risk, and through his leadership and through CAL FIRE's leadership, we're able to go in here and begin to modify the fuel bed to the point that it will actually benefit the community, and also has large ecological benefits, that is restoring that historical ecological forest.
This is a huge project. This fuel break you're building out in Colfax is one of many across the state right now. Once you build a fuel break, what do you got to do every year to keep it going moving forward?
Well, there's no such thing as one and done. So we're looking at perpetual maintenance. So we're going to do low intensity burning, we're going to do pile burning, we're going to do additional mechanical treatment. So this is basically investing into our ecological infrastructure.
Fantastic. Well, we could spend 30 minutes, 30 hours with you learning so much. It's fascinating stuff. Thank you for the great work you're doing out in Colfax.
I appreciate that.
Protect everybody out there.
Right.
We'll have you back on the show soon. Thank you so much, Chris Paulus. And be sure to join us for KCRA 3's special report, California's Season of Fire. It's a special show we're put together. We're looking at the threat facing the state as we enter the height of wildfire season. It airs Thursday night at 6:30 over on KCRA 3. 8:52 is your time this morning, and we will be right back. Don't go away.